I have been watching. Couldn't help myself.
Ever since I could remember, my favorite way of learning magic tricks was out of a magic book, where you would see old black and white pictures of the magician's hands as he did the moves, and you had to read them to understand the effect and the method. I'm now going to approach this tutorial video in much the same way, with pictures to aid your learning. So get a pack of cards and let's learn an awesome trick. And if you don't like the way I'm doing this tutorial, then...
Where did you learn your trade, you stupid fucking cunt, you idiot?
From a shuffled pack of cards, the spectator takes the top half. Both the spectator and the performer shuffle their halves respectively, after which they take the top two cards and trade them with each other. They then take these two cards and insert them face down into their face-up halves. When these halves are spread out, you can clearly see the face-down cards. When the cards are turned face up, they are a four of a kind. In this case, 4 aces. An amazing effect. Let's get into the tutorial.
Somerset Maugham said, they asked me if I like card tricks, and I said no, and he showed me 5. Well, that's what the attitude of most magicians. That's why a lot of people don't like magic, because magicians don't have good taste on that way. They do tricks in the marketplace, they do them in the street, under an arc light at night, stand under the light doing tricks. And in other arts, they don't do that. They don't suddenly burst into song for no reason. But magicians, on the least provocation, they take out a pack of cards and say, take a card, I'll show you a good trick.
Professor, speaking about showing...
You know, they can improve the whole show if they just change the ending.
No!
Put it closer to the beginning.
The setup is very basic. Put the 4 of a kind face up on the bottom of the deck. After shuffling the pack, tell the spectator to take top half of the pack and tell them to overhand shuffle their half of the pack. This you do as you retain the 4 face-up cards on the bottom of the pack. This is when a move comes in. You rotate your wrist as you point to the spectator's half and tell them that they can stop whenever they want. This enables you to turn over the packet that's in your right hand so that the queens or the aces or whatever 4 of a kind you like are now on top of the pack, with the top half being face up. You leave a step, which is just about the width of the border of the pack of cards, so that you can differentiate between the top face up half and the bottom face down half. You then put the top 2 cards of your pack on the table and request the spectator to do the same. You then grab the pack in your hand by the outside short edge and turn the entire pack over, being careful not to disturb the step and covering the step with your fingers. Then you ask the spectator to do exactly the same thing, which they do. You then take your thumb, square up the 2 halves, but hold the break between the 2 halves of the pack. Now you have a pinky break. When you take the spectator's 2 cards, you take their 2 cards that they gave you and insert them in the bottom half of the pack, face down, and thereby you are losing them in the other face down cards. While they are busy putting the face down cards into their face up pack, you rotate the bottom half of your pack, thereby correcting it and leaving the 2 of a kind face down in the pack. It's an easy matter of just turning it over while they're distracted with their cards. There's no real move. This is basically misdirection at its absolute best. And now you have 2 face down cards which are the same, and so do they. So you can spread out the 2 packs and show them the 2 face down cards. You can ask the spectator to turn them over, or you can turn them over, revealing 4 of a kind. This is straightforward, simple, and very direct, as well as very surprising, which is Vernon at his best. If the person you are doing it for was born in the 1900s sometime, you could also spell out their birth date basically. In the example you see 1984. So if the person was born in 1984, you can force these cards on them and then turn them over and say, does this mean anything to you? And the closer they look, and then you go, wait, that looks like a year. 1984, does that mean anything to you? And therefore revealing their birth date in a very special way. You could also memorize the date on an old coin and switch it in for a borrowed coin and reveal the date on the coin. These are just a few things you can do with a 4-digit number. So think about it and enjoy.